This happened about 20 years ago at Brown University. Wait, maybe it was UCLA. No, I believe it was Florida State. In any case, I wouldn't be surprised if this one turns up as a scene in Scream 3 or Urban Legend 2 or some other youth-oriented horror movie. Here's how it was told to me by a friend who attended an Ivy League school. For years, dating back to the 1930s, there was a tradition on campus during finals week. There's a lot of pressure on everyone at crunch time, so about halfway through the grind of exams, there would be a designated time when everyone on campus was supposed to stop whatever they were doing and scream as loud as possible for 5 straight minutes. I've heard it started out with just a couple of guys yelling their lungs out, and by the 1960s it had developed into this tradition that was even recognized by the administration as a healthy and harmless way to blow off steam. It was up to the senior class president to designate the date and time of the scream session. And then it was posted all over campus, even listed in the school newspaper. Sometimes the scream session would take place in the middle of the day. Sometimes it was held at midnight. There was no set time for it. So one year, I think it was back in the 1970s, the scream session was to be held at 10 p.m. on a Thursday. The announcement was made early in the week, so there was plenty of time to spread the word on campus. Apparently there was this guy who lived off campus, a strange guy who had been kicked out of school a few years earlier. He went on a couple of dates with a beautiful freshman girl, but she quickly realized the guy was a major creep and told him not to call her anymore. But he was obsessed with her, and he kept calling her and showing up at her dormitory and sending her weird letters. It got to the point where she contacted the local police, but they told her there was really nothing they could do beyond telling the guy to back off. The creep promised the police he wouldn't bother her anymore, and actually kept to his promise. Until the week of finals, that is. It was Thursday night about 10 o'clock, and the girl was leaving the library by herself when she was grabbed by the guy and dragged to a stairwell. She started to cry for help, but just then, the clock struck 10, and thousands of students all over campus began the 5-minute scream session. For 5 long, agonizing minutes, the poor girl's cries were completely lost as the deranged creep molested her and then stabbed her repeatedly with a butcher knife. By 10:05, when the screaming faded, she was dead, and her killer had already fled the scene. To this day, he's never been found. After the body was found, police couldn't figure out why no one on campus had heard the poor girl's cries for help. But then someone put 2 and 2 together and said, "I think we can establish the exact time of this girl's death. It was at 10 p.m. when the screaming started all over campus." That was the end of the scream session at my school, although there are some students who claim you can hear the eerie echoes of a young woman's screams every Thursday during finals week at just about 10 p.m.